Hello, everybody, and welcome to the call today. My name's Kellie Felgate. I live in Australia in a little location called Evans Head. Very blessed to be where I am on the coast or near the beach side, and it's certainly a blessing and a miracle in my life to actually be where I am today. So just waiting for some people to hopefully come and join on the call. We do have a lot of people who live around the world, so different time zones. So I look forward to your comments in the chat on the replay. So if you're here live, come and say hello and greet yourself so I can give you a shout out as well, and come and say hello to you also and get to know you. But today's call is really important. I had a friend reach out to me last night, and it really touched my heart. And, sometimes allowing somebody to go through their journey is kind of the best thing. And you can be there and pray and support and be the shoulder to cry on. But sometimes that journey, we can't even help them as well. And it really touched my heart. So it kind of prepared today's call. Well, I've been through many landslides in life, and many people would be saying, how are you where you are today? I would certainly have the master degree in fight, flight, and freeze. And when I actually moved here to Evans Head, it was actually a time when I became frozen. And I had many landslides, which is what we're going to talk about today. But in those landslides, I always found a way out. I always found a way to make a way. It was those landslides in my life that set in different courses of action, that set forward different reactions, different outlines of reach help. And that's what I'm going to share today. So come and say hello in the chat. So landslides can be a disastrous and deliberating, causing destruction and loss of life even. And if you've been impacted by a landslide, it's important to take the necessary steps to recover and to rebuild. A metaphoric landslide means a significant or sudden unexpected event or circumstance that can bring upheaval and chaos into one's life. It can be a personal crisis, a sudden loss of a job or loss of a loved one, an unexpected financial burden, or any other event that shakes one's sense of stability. We all like to be stable. We all like to know that that journey we're heading on is secure. But unfortunately, that journey does become like a roller coaster. Such a landslide can leave a person feeling lost, confused, and overwhelmed. It's important to acknowledge that while these events can be destructive, they can also provide opportunities of growth, self-discovery, and learning to navigate through adversity. Seeking support from loved ones, counseling, or other resources can help you build resilience and develop coping mechanisms to manage the challenges that arise from such circumstances. Now, we've all had landslides in our lives, but it's in what I can share with my story, and eventually I may share a little bit, but what I can share is that it's those landslides in my life, I learnt what was available. I learnt what resources were available. One of those was a time of domestic violence in my life. I have to be careful with how I say it. And I was 3 months pregnant. I was homeless. I was on the street. I had nowhere to go. I'd just been beaten to the smithereens, and I was able to go to a refuge. But in that refuge, then I was able to find another resource of a safety financial development plan. Then I was able to reach out and find another resource of an organization that was able to fund a new home for you. I was able to outsource myself to the outsourcers who were there to bring forward some need for me. I was there to be able to get resources for clothing and food and all these other sorts of things. But the point is, I still was in a fight flight mode. I was still there, ready to reach out and say, hey, I need some help here, to resources available to my need. And they were very helpful. But it was in that journey that learning those outsources, learning those charities, learning those facilities, that now when someone comes in a crisis to me, I can say, well, hey, I might not be able to financially help you, or I may not be able to have material things to give to replenish. Sometimes I can, but at the same time, I'm able to say, hey, I know of this organization. I'll give you their phone number. I know of this resource. I'll give you their phone number. Outsourcing to those in need who are established, to give them direction of where to get some help. And this is where I am today in, where I've been in the last 20 years would absolutely blow your mind. But at the same time, that was the biggest growth to put me in the position where I am today, because I know the organizations, I know how to reach out to them, I know where to go, yet alone be there to support somebody in need at the same time. So remember, you have the strength and the capacity to overcome the obstacles that life throws your way. Know that you are not alone in facing this challenge, and there are resources available to help you through the process to get you back to that stability, the stability and where you want to be. Now, today's message is take time to count your blessings. Today, I take time to count my blessings. When I had endured domestic violence, it was 15 years ago, and it radiates still the learning lessons today. But when I had learnt that mechanism of, I'd gone through a landslide of nowhere to go, but I found somewhere. And then there was a big, I'll share that story one day, but there was a big cycle of events. Women who have left domestic violence know that that never psychologically ends. You have to always be in a battlefield. In that, when I had to relocate from one location to another, to another, to another, to another, the flight mode to get away, I came to Evans Head, and that was a blessing. I didn't know it at the time, but I've been here now in Evans Head for 10 years. I've met my husband. I've witnessed miracles. My husband is still alive. I've watched my son develop friendships and social skills. I live near the beach. I have been blessed. I met counselors and was able to learn skills and learn the grief process and the 6 steps of that. I've learned money skills and how to develop and build from money, yet alone be able to still give. I've learned about time management and all these things. I had my own established business. When you learn these skills and when you're able to give back to somebody, even just with your skills, by an outsourced community resource that you can direct them to, it's a blessing. So let's count our blessings today. That's the message for today, is to count our blessings. Let's overcome those landslides by reaching out to the resources that are truly available for us to make that landslide go away, so that we can start to climb that mountain again. Many blessings to you. I'm Kellie Felgate, and look forward to you on next week's Monday to Fridays calls, and even more development in myself in how to be a good communicator. So I'll be studying more of that this weekend too. But be blessed. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.